Guys, thank you. Thank you, Manchester City. Thank you very much that you beat our biggest opponent in this entire planet, who's Real Madrid. Thank you for beating them. Thank you, Nico O'Reilly. Thank you, Erling Haaland. Thank you very much. But guys, you know what? I think that this game was kind of disappointing in a way that in the first half, if you saw the game, like if you actually saw the game, then in the first half there was a lot going on, right? There were goals, there were a lot of things going on. And the second half, it was almost goalless. Well, not almost, it was goalless completely. Like the scoreline was 2-1, which ended in the first half. So Manchester City making a comeback in the first half. In the second half, nothing happened. So it was kind of disappointing because when these two sides meet, which is almost like a league game now, right? When they meet, it's a different kind of, situation. It's a different kind of feeling. There's goals. There's a lot of things going on, which went on throughout the whole match, right? But I think that it was a little bit disappointing that nothing happened in the second half. I was expecting the second half to be more, eventful with goals and stuff than the first half. But guys, the scoreline ended with 2-1, and of course, Manchester City, after so long, they won at the Bernabeu, right, with a comeback even. But the thing is that I think that Manchester City got a little bit lucky yesterday. Okay, I have to say this because I saw the game and I saw how the tempo changed suddenly for Real Madrid in the second half. They were balling, guys, in the second half. I have to say, and I think that really, I even the Manchester City fans, I'm pretty sure that they're aware that they were lucky that in the second half nothing happened. Okay, the scoreline stayed the same. Nothing crazy happened on the pitch, so it was a great thing that nothing happened for them. But it was wow. I have to say the Real Madrid have evolved right now. Xabi Alonso has actually done something to this team. Whether if people say that he should get sacked, he should do this, do that, I think that he's doing a perfect job until now at Real Madrid. Even though he hasn't won a single big game until now, except for that Barcelona, which they beat us 2-1. But a single big game he hasn't won until now, right? PSG, Manchester City yesterday, Liverpool, and a lot of other big Atletico Madrid, of course. So they've lost a lot of big games, except for that one Barcelona. But guys, with that being said, now let's get into the game, right? The game was kind of like 50-50, guys. Like, I saw Manchester City going for it in the first half. I saw different kind of tactics, to be honest. Manchester City were not able to keep the ball in the midfield. Like, that was the first thing that I started to see. Because whenever Bernardo Silva or their other, midfielders, whenever they get the ball, Nico Gonzalez and all, they would get pressed by Tchouaméni, Valverde, like all these Real Madrid shirts all over them in the midfield. So technically, yesterday, Xabi Alonso, I think that he tried to control the midfield with force. There was, of course, even Dani Ceballos in the midfield. So he tried to control it with force, not letting Manchester City to play possession football, which they normally do, and which was actually, I was expecting that football from Manchester City, but yesterday it happened from Real Madrid. So Xabi Alonso has actually made this team in a way that they, play possessional football now, instead of Carlo Ancelotti's, attacking football where you give the ball to Vini and then he runs and then this and then, yeah. But the game was amazing, guys, I have to say. The game was amazing, right? Manchester City, they were using more of Doku, right? Doku. And he was getting the ball forward. He was like the biggest ingredient yesterday for Manchester City of balling. But yeah, I mean, they conceded first. And who scored the first goal? Of course, it was Rodrigo. But before that, you know what? Let me tell you the stats of this game, because this is actually very interesting. Real Madrid yesterday kept a possession of 52. This was totally unexpected from me, right? That Real Madrid is going to keep a possession of 52 versus Manchester City, right? And Manchester City with a possession of course, 48. But here's where it gets a little bit interesting. Real Madrid had 17 shots, but only one on target. And that was the Rodrigo goal in the first minutes of the game, which is kind of like awkward because 17 shots and only one on target. So we have to say that the attacking, like, formation, and the absence of course, Kylian Mbappe, because he was not there, guys. Like, he was on the bench. So the absence of Kylian Mbappe was seen yesterday. 17 shots and 1 on target. But I have to say that Rodrigo, whatever situation it is, he went like 32 games without scoring a goal. And yesterday he scored the first goal after all those games versus Manchester City. And what an angle to score, guys. Like, Donnarumma just went down there but couldn't get the ball. Like, wow. I have to say, it was a great goal. And a great build-up, especially from Carreras. And, Manchester City had 12 shots and 8 on target. So you have to see that Courtois had a very big role yesterday. And it was seen. Like, there were so big chances yesterday for Manchester City to score. Erling Haaland with so many chances in open play. Of course, he scored a penalty, but in open play, he had so many chances, big chances, but he couldn't score. Just because of Courtois. Courtois, I think, is the best goalkeeper, like, right now, even though Donnarumma wins all this and that. And I mean, we talk about other goalkeepers, but I think that the way that Courtois keeps Real Madrid in the game is unbelievable, bro. Yesterday, a scoreline of 4-5 could have happened for Manchester City if it weren't for Courtois. So, yeah, I mean, we need to consider that as well. But after that, guys, of course, Nico O'Reilly scores. Courtois, of course, made the save, but it wasn't enough to, keep the ball out of Manchester City reach. And then, of course, Nico O'Reilly was right there, and then they scored. And then he scored, of course, making it 1-1 not too long after Rodrigo's goal. And then after that, of course, Erling Haaland, who got fouled by Rudiger, which was a crazy, crazy scene right there. The ball is being put, and it's not even heading towards Haaland. And then still Rudiger kind of, hugs him and then brings him down to the ground, and then a penalty is given. And then Haaland, of course, converts it. So it was a crazy game, especially in the first half. The second half, as I said, nothing happened. But I think that, this tradition should, happen every single year. It's really entertaining. I have to say, really, really entertaining. Yesterday, I was entertained, guys, right? These two teams, whenever they play, like, I know that Real Madrid had injuries, Militao, this and that, but still, I would say that they had a very decent second half, and especially there was no Mbappe, there was no Güler in the starting. Güler came later as a sub, but I think that Real Madrid actually deserved to win yesterday. Even though I'm a Barcelona fan, I'm going to say that they actually deserved to win yesterday. Because I think that the way that they played the second half, those big chances, that Vinicius goal, that could have been a goal, right, if he didn't put it over the bar. And he was like right here. Like, this is the goal, just shoot it inside the net, and he skied it. That was the goal. Like, there was so much going on yesterday, guys. So much, guys. Like, I have to say, like, it was crazy. But it was a beautiful game, I have to say. A very tackle game, like so many yellow cards. But at the end of the day, Manchester City just made that comeback and made themselves victorious at the Santiago Bernabeu for the first time in I don't know how many years or whatever. But yeah, they did it. So congratulations to Manchester City. And thank you very much, Manchester City, for beating my biggest opponent. And I'll see you on the next video. But if you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe, like the video. See you on the next video.